Okay, so I've got everything, almost everything, put back on the tank where it goes. I've got the intake, U-bend pipe type thing, I guess, put back, and then the spray bar put back, and then what you're going to do is you're going to put your canister back underneath your tank, and then attach the pieces, the hoses that fit, back to where they go. So put the intake back on the intake, and the output back on the output, and then I'll show you how to siphon it. I'm going to do that real quick. Okay? Okay, so now I've got everything attached back where it goes. Okay, so I've got the intake hose attached to this, and the output hose attached to this. Now I've got to show you the initial on how to start your filter. Okay, so what you got to do is you have to actually take, you really don't need to hook this up until you get the filter going. Okay, so unhook that like such. Okay, and pull it down here like so, and then suck on it until the water travels all the way through the loop and it's traveling down the hose. Okay? And then you'll know when the canister is full. Can you hear that? You can hear the pressure building up in there. Okay, you'll know when the canister is full because it'll come squirting out like that. And give it a second, let the bubbles settle up to the top and everything. It can't really run very well with air in it. See, like how that bubble just came up right there? You want to get that bubble out of there. Okay, so let the air get all the way through it. Okay, because it doesn't run with bubbles in it. Alright. Adjust myself here. Okay, then plug it up so it doesn't leak all over your floor. And then reattach it. Reattach it right there. Okay? Which I'm going to do now. Can't see it. Oh well. I'm going to put my camera back here, put it down into the water. So I don't want it to fall. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just attaching it back to that little bend thing. Okay? And now you should be able to plug your filter in. Get it all adjusted how you want it. This is about how I like it. I just need to get my suction cup to cooperate. Okay, and then you'll be able to plug it in, and I'll show you the difference between a clean filter and a dirty filter. Difference in performance, anyways. Okay, got my suction cup to cooperate. I'm going to go under the cabinet and plug it back in. Actually fairly quiet filters. I don't think I mentioned this. I'm kind of echoey down here. I've got mine plugged in down here. You can't see where it's just plugged into a normal household surge protector or octopus, whatever you want to call it. Just plug it in. Okay, it's plugged in. It's actually fairly quiet. Most of what you probably hear is the air filter, or is the air pump. See? Look at that. Here's that. Right. That's it. Okay? Start to finish how to clean it out. Everything. And this is what I'm going to do next. Since I don't have any more filters, and I know my filters are going to fall apart, I'm not going to clean out my second one yet. But I'm going to completely drain my tank as far as I can, and then show you how I fill it back up. Alright? So, do that real quick, and then I'll be back. Okay guys, so this is what I've got going. This is about, let me try to back up a little bit. This is about 50% for my tank. It may look a little bit more than 50%, but it's a 120 gallon tank, and if you actually measure it with a 5-gallon bucket, it's 60 gallons to where I fill it. Okay, and you want to try to get your tank filled as soon as possible, because if my fish, my Oscars, they don't like the water low. They start freaking out. They'll poop all over the place, and they'll fling gravel all over, and they'll start trying to move crap, and they just start freaking out when the water level's low. So this is what I use. I use Prime to treat my water for chlorine, and the reason why I use Prime, you can use AquaSafe, or what's the other one? There's lots of water conditioners, and you can use any one that you want. Just follow the directions on the back. Okay, and what I do, so I don't have to use a 5-gallon bucket, is I have an Aqueon, I think is the brand. I don't even think that's the brand. I don't even know what the brand is. But it's essentially the same thing. what it does is it hooks to your sink, okay, and come in here. It hooks to your sink like this, right? And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna have it to drain, which is it's down. This part right here is down, okay? And you're gonna adjust your water temperature as close to the water temperature of your tank as you can get it. And then once you get it to the right temperature, you push this up and twist, and it'll redirect the flow to go through the hose and fill your tank. But first, before we can do that, we have to treat the water for chlorine. And the reason why I use Prime is because it removes the chlorine, chloramine, and ammonia. Okay, it'll remove the ammonia from the water. And it also detoxifies the nitrites and the nitrates, which is harmful to your fish. Okay? It doesn't completely get rid of them, it just makes it less toxic for your fish. Because then you shouldn't have any nitrite at all in your tank. That's really bad for your fish. Okay? But nitrate is the good bacteria that eats the ammonia and the nitrite. And even in high amounts of the nitrate, it's not good for your fish. That's why you got to do frequent water changes. And if you have high levels, this helps to bring those levels down and make them less toxic. So what you want to do is shake it up, get it all nice and mixed up, and it stinks beyond belief. Believe me. Okay? Be glad you don't have smell-o-vision, because it's disgusting. Anyways, so each cap is worth, make sure you read the directions and fully understand. I changed 60 gallons worth of water. And the way to do it, if you're going to have the Aqueon water changer, which is it hooks up to your sink and then it just fills it up. You have to treat the water first, okay? But if you're doing 5-gallon buckets, just treat the water in the 5-gallon bucket and then dump it, okay? But I strongly suggest you getting one of these Aqueon water changers. They're expensive, but it's worth it because it doesn't take as long. Instead of taking me like 30 minutes to fill up my tank, it takes me like 15. So anyways, we shook it up. Each cap is worth 50 gallons. We'll treat 50 gallons of water. And we changed 60. So, we're going to fill one cap. Okay? One cap, dump it in there, rinse out the cap, get everything out, and then 1/4 teaspoon. 1/4 teaspoon, treat 10 gallons. Okay? And I like to do at least 10 gallons more than I replace, just to make sure it gets all the chlorine out. So we're going to do 1/2 teaspoon. Okay? Which that treats 20 gallons. Okay? Remember, 1/2 teaspoon treats 20 gallons. And 1/4 teaspoon treats 10 gallons. And if you got one and you're using a 5-gallon bucket, 1/8 teaspoon will treat 5 gallons. Okay? So 1/2 teaspoon. So we dumped 50 gallons worth in now, and now that's 70 gallons worth. Okay? And it should be safe for the fish now to start filling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, you guys still see me? Hopefully you can see what I was doing over there. I think you can. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this in like this, and then I'm going to close the lid like such, so it holds it in place so it doesn't fall out of the tank. And then we're going to go, woo, don't trip over the hose. We're going to go into the kitchen, make sure the valve is turned off, so pull it down. I'm doing this one-handed, so it's going to be kind of difficult. Okay, get a mixture of hot and cold water, and this is kind of loud, so I'm going to start talking louder. If it seems like I'm yelling, I'm sorry, because I don't know if you can hear me over the water. Okay, more cold water. And you want to get it as close to the other temperature of your tank as you possibly can. Okay? You don't want it too cold, because it'll put them into shock, and you don't want it too hot, because it'll put them into shock. Okay? Turn a little bit of hot water down. And for me, this feels about what my tank is usually at. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to switch it over to fill, maybe. There, now it's filling. See, Now it's filling the tank. Okay? This will take about 15-20 minutes, depending on how big your tank is. Watch it, make sure it doesn't flood your house. Okay? So I'm going to let this fill up, and then I'll be right back. Alright?